sport bar damage to the Toyota Tacoma? Does putting it on the bed rails scratch it or leave any kind of damage? Well, good morning everybody and welcome back to RobMotive. So let's have a look. I have the sport bar sitting right up there on my lift being stored at the moment. But when I took it off, I was curious myself. You know, it sits right on top of the bed rails. Now, there is a foam or a rubberized kind of pad that's between the sport bar itself and the plastic caps that are the bed rails. But still, I was curious, did it do any damage? So let's go take a look. We'll inspect the rails, if you will, and see. There it is, by the way, sitting right up there. You guys can see what it's like when it's not installed on the truck. Of course, the wiring there is what was spliced into the rear tail light back here so that I could have a third brake light. It does have, if you don't recall, a third brake light up there in the middle, which I really like. Very easy to do, just spliced it in. So let's take a look at the rails. Starting right up here, looking down, let's see. I don't see any damage there. Now, I did wipe these down, by the way. There was quite a bit of dust underneath. Of course, there won't be any damage in the back. It doesn't sit on the back. But let's look up this other side. You can see right up there. A little bit right there in the corner, I suppose, but that's really nothing, minimal. Otherwise, from sitting flat on here, no issues there whatsoever. Of course, I did have it bolted down along on the inside. No damage along the inside of the rails either. Not really any impact there because it does sit kind of away from those rails, or from the sides, if you will, right where you can see the blue there, of course. So I would say no for having that unit, which is a pretty substantial piece. Not really so heavy, I suppose, really more bulky than anything else. I did have to have somebody help me lift it up on the lift there, really just to make sure that it didn't tip forward and come down and damage the Tacoma somehow. I didn't want that to happen. So somebody did help me lift it up there. By the way, a garage lift makes a perfect place to store lots of parts and stuff. So while I've got you guys on here, of course, you're probably wondering, why did you take it off, Rob? I thought you really liked it. I do really like it, and that's why I took it off. I took it off because something else is coming. Now, I will tell you the sport bar does fit several different trucks. It is able to be used on different manufacturers, different models, so it doesn't necessarily have to go on a Toyota Tacoma. Now, I'm not going to be so coy, I guess, because this is my Toyota Tacoma channel, so I don't want you to think there's not going to be any kind of Toyota Tacoma on the channel. That is definitely not the case. I will always own a Toyota Tacoma. However, it doesn't mean that I will always own that Toyota Tacoma. Now, that's really all I'm going to tell you as far as what I'm doing. That should be a lot right there. But that's why I am taking a lot of the mods off of the truck. It won't be bone stock when I'm done. I did that last time when I traded off my 2018 Tacoma, but I'm not gonna do that this time. This truck will be left with some of the mods and things that are on it now, and I'll go over that in a future video. So it will have a little bit left on it. Now, the plan is not to build an identical truck. There are things that will be shared that are similar, of course, like the sport bar that's up there, but there will be different options on it. You know, part of the fun in doing this for me, and I've kind of talked about this before, is to do different things. You know, I don't want to do the same things either. That gets boring for me. So I will be doing different things on the next go around. It will be a different truck altogether, something that I have never had. So it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. Plans for it, I haven't decided the theme yet. You know, I go back and forth. On this truck, I went from an over truck, which didn't really work out real well for me, so I scrapped that idea. And then I went for more of a bug out vehicle. Yeah, you know, what can you really do with that? It's really more supplies. I mean, you need an air compressor, which I have, and I need to remember to remove, by the way. I don't know, just things that you might need if for some reason you had to get out early. Well, that's really just adding stuff to the truck. You know, one might argue that, yeah, having a lift with, you know, meatier tires and stuff could be something that's important, like if there was some major cataclysmic event and the roads were gone and you needed to drive on dirt. Yeah, that's just hoping that you survive something that severe. So really, it's just a lot of supplies and things. You know, overland, I have discovered that I am really not an overlander. I do like the look of overland setups. There are many people out there that have them, but actually going out and using things for what they're intended for, not so much for me. Kind of like a rooftop tent, let's say. I've had people ask me about getting a rooftop tent or some kind of a tent on the back, something like that. But I'm not really a camper. You know, I'm more of a concrete and asphalt kind of guy. It's the way I am, it's what I like. Now, there's nothing wrong if you're into that. I envy you if you are. It sounds fun to me, but if I'm being realistic, not really gonna go that way. So I do need some sort of a theme for what I'm gonna do next. I just like to have a little bit of direction, a little bit of an idea of where I'm going. Even if it doesn't turn out, you know, to fully be that, still gives me some kind of a plan for what I want to do. And I find a lot of these different scenarios share things anyway. For instance, a lift. I just love the look of a lifted truck. So there's no reason for me not to lift a truck, even if I'm not going to use it in the way that maybe it was intended, although I would argue that the intent for me is just to have it look good. And that satisfies it as far as the lift goes. So we shall see. New things are coming. I actually have something, I guess I'd say on order. It's not really on order. I've kind of snagged something that was already on order. Should be coming soon. I'll continue to do things with this truck, of course, because I do love having the Toyota Tacoma no matter what. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know what you think, particularly about what you might think I'm getting. I would be curious to know. And what kind of stuff you might like to see. You never know. I might incorporate it in the next go-around. Leave a comment. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. RobMotive FST, all about my 2021 Toyota Tundra. And RobMotive JT, all about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay curious out there. Bye.